Now I got something to show you, and it's gonna be something momentous. Hello everybody, it's me, the Excellent Reviewer, and we're here to talk about Katsuyori Shibata. Now, if you don't know who Katsuyori Shibata is, and you're a wrestling fan, then you owe it to yourself to figure out who this man is. He's one of the premier athletes from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, a few weeks ago, Katsuyori Shibata had a great 5-star match with Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at the Sakura Genesis event. It has been awarded at being 5 stars and was truly a great match, from which I can say from my perspective. However, after the match had concluded, Shibata collapsed several times on his way to the back and was immediately taken to the hospital. What had happened was Shibata suffered from a subdural hematoma, and a lot of people speculated that he obtained this injury when he hit Okada with one of his signature moves, which is a hard, stiff-hitting headbutt. And afterwards you could see that he had cracked his skull open and that blood was starting to trickle down his forehead. Now, according to Dave Meltzer, Shibata is now in the hospital and he's made somewhat of a recovery. He's gotten his memory back and he has had successful surgery. However, Dave Meltzer himself has said, and that he's come to the conclusion saying that Shibata will probably never be clear to wrestle in his life again. Now, Shibata has been known to be one of the stiffest workers when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and his kicks legitimately look so hard that they can concave your chest in. So, this isn't something that should come as a surprise to anyone. But when you think about it, the whole affair is just sad. I mean, and it shows how careers in the wrestling business, how they can be short. Now, years ago, New Japan was in this era where they were trying to establish new stars. And there were 3 aces that were believed that they were going to lead the company into greatness. And they were Hiroshi Tanahashi, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Katsuyori Shibata himself. However, Shibata left New Japan Pro Wrestling to go and try and pursue a career in mixed martial arts. It was only a few years later that he returned to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and until recently, he had finally been given his big push, winning the 2017 New Japan Cup, and being thrust into the main event scene and challenging Okada for his IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Now, nothing concrete has been said about Shibata himself not being able to wrestle again, but hopefully he can overcome this and return to the wrestling ring because he hasn't had really a long career, and he hasn't really hit the peak of his career just yet. So to have his career end so quickly, just as soon as he gets his first big push, is very sad to hear. Now, personally, I don't like to hear this news because I happen to be a huge fan of Shibata in my many months watching New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he's done nothing but be a phenomenal wrestler, hence why he's called The Wrestler. And he's like me in a lot of ways, and I can identify with Shibata, so to hear this news is heartbreaking for me. And this also brings up the topic that should wrestlers in Japan work more safely? Because yeah, we the audience, we love hearing those hard-hitting impact in matches, but when it gets to the point, when wrestlers like Shibata are getting serious, debilitating injuries, then maybe it's time for New Japan to start working a little more safely, even though it is called the land of strong-style wrestling. Now, hopefully Shibata is able to overcome this and he's able to get back into the wrestling ring because, like I said, Shibata hasn't had his full career. He hasn't had his peak. He hasn't hit the top of his career just quite yet. So hopefully he's able to overcome that. And like in the past, doctors have been wrong about certain diagnoses. So maybe this could be the case. But honestly, I don't think so. And a lot of people don't think so either. And Katsuyori Shibata more than likely wrestled his last match with Okada, and he couldn't have gone out with a bigger bang, taking on the best wrestler in the world right now in his biggest main event and his biggest pay-per-view match of all time. So, sincerely, I know Katsuyori Shibata is not watching right now, but I just need to say thank you, Shibata, for your hard-hitting action, your dedication to the service, your dedication to the wrestling business. Thank you, Katsuyori Shibata, so much for everything that you've done. You're truly a phenomenal wrestler, and hopefully you're able to come back, and you're able to bounce back from everything, and that you're able to get back into the ring. But obviously, your health is a priority first, because the health of a wrestler is always the priority, always to make it safer, always to make it better. And it's how we can improve upon that. And hopefully Japan takes this as a learning lesson and, make the professional wrestling in Japan more safer, better for the workers, because a point was brought up that what if Shibata had injured Okada with the same headbutt? What if he had done significant damage to Okada with the same headbutt? So maybe this is a learning lesson for Japan to try and make it safe. I mean, look at WWE. Okay, now comparing the two, it's very different. But they do have some hard-hitting action, but the wrestling in WWE is a lot more safer than it is in Japan. So maybe adopt that lifestyle to be more safer, because like I said, when it comes to the cost, the top talent like Shibata are getting injured and having career-ending injuries, then that's a sign that maybe this should stop. Well, that's been it for this episode of The Excellent Reviewer. Do me a favor. Let me know what you guys think about the whole Shibata issue, whether or not he should continue to wrestle or whether he should just retire. Do me a favor, let me know in the comment section below. I love hearing your guys' input on everything like that. Also, if you want to do me a favor, you want to hear and see more content like this, you want to see my beautiful face, then you're going to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. You're going to do all that great stuff. And this is the part where I thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching, because I couldn't be here without you. I couldn't be doing this without you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Samuel V, aka The Excellent Reviewer, and I will see you all as soon as I can.